to buy some of those housing units. You do not have to depend on your family members or your friends, who I am told occasionally run away with your money. You will now have a place to buy a house without any hassle. And the ministry responsible for housing will let you know how you can book for a unit online. You don't need to know anybody. You don't need any brokers. You don't need to see anybody. You can book a unit online. And somebody's going to tell you exactly how that is done shortly. To also tell you that I did commit that we are going to have a different savings culture. As you are aware, since independence, we have been paying a very small fraction for our social security. In fact, up to 2 years ago, we were paying 200 shillings for everybody to National Social Security Fund. And in 60 years, we only managed to save 320 billion shillings. In fact, we have a smaller social security, smaller than Tanzania and smaller than Uganda, yet we have a bigger economy. But I made the decision that we are going to change the regulations and the law governing savings in Kenya. Why? Because investment is a function of savings. You cannot invest if you don't have any savings. You have nothing to invest. And just for your information, China, savings in China is 55% of their GDP. In Kenya, we were at 8%, maybe 9%, maybe 10%. It is my intention to push savings as a percentage of GDP to between 25 and 30%. That is where a majority of countries are. And because of the changes we have made, the good news is that while we collected or saved 320 billion shillings for 60 years, in 2 years, we have doubled our savings, just in 2 years. By the end of this year, we will have 650 billion shillings saved because of the changes we have made. And by 2027, we will have 1 trillion saved. That is why I am not very popular with people who don't want to save. But for the people who want to save, they know what difference that is making. And that is how we are going to stop borrowing from other countries. We will be borrowing from our own savings to finance our own development. And if we must pay interest, let us pay interest to our own workforce in Kenya who are saving, instead of paying interest for, I don't want to mention countries where we are borrowing, where we are borrowing money. You know, the money we are borrowing from China, for example, is savings of the Chinese people, right? And you know that we are paying interest, and we are not paying small money. Why would we not pay Kenyans who are saving? That's the question I ask. So, I'm very happy with the progress that we are making, and progressively, people are beginning to see the reality of some of the interventions we are undertaking. I am also sure that you are aware that we have reformed our funding of our education system. We have straightened the CPC program that your chairman talked about. In 2022, there was a very big debate as to the implementation of CBC and the direction it was going. Immediately I came into office, I set up a presidential task force that gave us a way forward. And in 2 years, we've hired a record 76,000 teachers to support that program. We have changed the funding model. Today, the 23 universities that were almost bankrupt, if you speak to the vice chancellors of those universities, they will tell you the new funding model. And I have one chancellor here, who is a member of the diaspora. This Chancellor of Cooperative University. He will tell you that that new funding model has made a whole difference in funding our universities and making sure that children, especially from poor backgrounds, get scholarships up to 90%, so that we give equal opportunity to all our children and that our education system leaves no child behind. You may also want to know that we have rolled out our universal health coverage program, commonly known as Taifa Care or SHA. And I was looking at the numbers last night. I get a report every evening at 10 p.m. And yesterday, 55,000 Kenyans registered. On average, every day, between 45 and 60,000 Kenyans register. For the first time, people who have never been on health insurance are experiencing health insurance. In the past, NHIF was reserved for people who were either salaried or they were in a position to pay. This time round, we have rolled out universal health coverage, a matter we have always wanted to do. I remember the NAC administration wanted to do it. And I remember we tried to do it under the Jubilee administration. And we couldn't manage. But I'm very proud that this time round, we took time, we created a legal framework. We took almost 2 years of planning, crafting the right framework, the right legislation, the right regulations. And today, I can proudly say that as opposed to NHIF, which had 7 million people registered, we now have 21 million Kenyans registered under SHA. And I am confident that we will get finally, with the registration that is going on now, we will finally get to universality on matters health. And the program gives everybody a chance. For those who can pay, you pay in accordance with your income. And for those who cannot pay, the government of Kenya will step in to pay for indigents and the people who cannot be able to pay. I am very happy with the progress that has been achieved. And you now from the diaspora can pay health insurance for your family members if you want to. You can, from the comfort of your office, you can register yourself. Members of your family can be registered. You can register your dependents. You can pay for them online, and you don't have to go to any office. Today, we have moved Matters Health to our digital platform. Imagine those, whenever you went to hospital, the doctor used to write on a piece of paper. And it graduated to an exercise book. Somebody had an exercise book the doctor wrote somewhere. We no longer have the exercise books. Now it is on a digital platform. You don't have to carry no exercise book. All you need to do is to go to a hospital, produce your ID, and your health record will be pulled from a digital platform. And the doctor will know which hospital you have gone to, what medicine you have been given, what is your health history, and they can take it up from there. We have also eliminated, using that digital platform, many quack doctors, fake hospitals, and many other fraudulent activities that informed our health infrastructure before. Because now it is not possible to treat anybody unless they are identified. There were incidences, for example, where one person was amputated 10 times in the old system because there was no health record and it was easy to fraudulently make claims to NHIF. That is not possible anymore because once you are identified that you are amputated twice, the system will not agree for you to be amputated again because they will know that your limbs are finished. So we also had incidences of very small hospitals which were performing very many surgeries. That again has been brought under control. Unfortunately, there will be some casualties. There are many hospitals, private facilities that will close down. Why? Because they were built on fake claims, which are no longer available. So we can only pay under this system for a service that has been provided. It is not possible anymore to make any fake claims. And so we are making steady progress, and I am confident with the transformation that Kenya is going through. Let me finalize by saying we are transforming our agricultural sector. You remember in 2022, we had many people in the streets of Nairobi with sufurias on top of their heads because unga was 240 shillings, that kind of thing. We have since reorganized that space and working with farmers with clarity of intervention, making sure that we don't subsidize consumption, as I said, but instead we support production. The reason why today the prices of unga have significantly come down from 230, now we are talking of 130, 140 shillings. Sometimes it comes down to 100, and I'm very happy with the progress that we have achieved in that space. Today, if you ask, because of the reform we have carried out in the agricultural sector, milk that was retailing at 35